everybody. Welcome to the Viva Connections SharePoint Framework bi-weekly sync, January 23rd, 2025. There you go. All right, I'm Chris. I'm your host, and we got all sorts of exciting things for you today. Maybe. There we go. All right, so we're going to go through a bunch of our stuff first, right? Give you updates on where everything is, all of our various projects and samples and repos, and give you a chance to know what's going on there. And then we're going to do a picture time with Together Mode here. So be sure to get your cameras ready, comb your hair, whatever. Get your virtual cats ready. All that. And then we've got 3 awesome demos. So we've got Mohammed's going to be doing a React calendar web part, which is perfect for January. And then we've got Nello back. He's developing an RSS reader web part. Both of those are in SPFx 1.20. So that's very exciting. And then we've got Nishkalank is coming in here, and he's going to be doing the upgrade of the print list item as a command view set extension, which I love to see those. So that is going to be fun. So stick around for those. But to start us off, if you're not aware, we've got a ton of resources and everything for you. So we've got a bunch of videos over on YouTube. We've got a LinkedIn group. You can jump in there. You can share your stuff. You can comment back and forth and have a good discussion there. And then we've got a ton of repos. Those range from both the samples over there, but also a ton of tooling and other things to help you get started, whether you're just getting started or you're really looking for some more of those advanced scenarios. We've got all sorts of guidance for you all across things, from Power Platform to Copilot to SharePoint Framework and everything in between. And then, of course, you can check all of that out on our main homepage, that aka.ms/community/home, where you can find all of these links and more. All right. And, of course, make sure you're joining us for these calls. Obviously, you figured this one out, so that's good. But we've got some more as well. So we've got one every other Thursday, and then we've got one on Tuesdays. We've got the Power Platform ones and so on and so on. But again, if you go to that link, you'll find the way to join all of those and add those to your calendar, so you can be sure to join here. And if you don't get a chance to join us live, all of these get recorded within 24 hours and put up on that YouTube channel, so you can watch them there. And speaking of those calls, coming up here on the 28th of January, 2025, we've got a Power Platform weekly call here. We've got 3 awesome demos, including one from some unknown named, is it Visa? I'm not sure who that guy is. But he'll come in here with Declared Evasion for Microsoft 365 Copilot and so much sorts of stuff here as well. So be sure to join us for that or watch the recording. And then finally, if you want to be one of the people that does this, whether you are a seasoned presenter or you've never done it, or again, somewhere in between, we would love to have you on here. It does not have to be groundbreaking. Of course, it can be, and that's awesome. But in fact, some of our most popular videos are those getting started videos. So if you've just gotten started, and you want to say like, hey, here's the lessons I literally just learned, that is a fantastic demo and would help a lot of people. And we'd be happy to walk you through that, whether that's help you prepare slides or understand the timing of your demo and so on. Just fill this out and we'll reach out to you. All right, David.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chris. So speaking of getting started, if you also want to learn how to contribute to the community, you see these cool samples, demos that everybody's working on, and you're like, I want to contribute to that, but I'm not quite sure how. Sharing is Caring is here to provide that. It is live, hands-on sessions in Teams calls together where we will learn how to make things like pull requests inside of GitHub, which is the gateway to a contribution for samples. So we are getting the schedules set up. Hugo and I have a session tomorrow to schedule them out. So appreciate everyone's patience. Be on the lookout. aka.ms Sharing is Caring. They're safe space, they're live, and we'll work through together, and they count as a contribution. So what does it mean when you get a contribution? Well, it means you get a badge in our recognition program. So this is a program that is back for 2025. You may have seen some of those 2024 badges going out from the end of the year in the last couple of days. 2025 is going to be going out here today and tomorrow. So be on the lookout. Absolutely free. We cover the cost with Credly. These are official and accredited badges that recognize the amazing work that you're doing. We've got more badges coming up this year for hackathons, which are going to be super, super awesome. And of course, our typical special editions all throughout the year. So if you're not opted in, get opted in, aka.ms/community/recognition. Don't need to do it more than once unless you change your information, and we'll track all the contributions you're making and reward you and recognize you. So thank you all for everybody, what you've been doing. Really appreciate it. Chris, back to you.
All right. And of course, now it's going to go over to Vesa. Give us some updates on that SharePoint framework.
Wowee! Few updates
Wow.
from the Microsoft side. So first of all, 29th of January, there's going to be a really cool event hosted by Jeff Tipper and Melissa Torres and CJ Tan and so on the latest on SharePoint stuff. So this will be really cool on different capabilities which are available on SharePoint. I've seen the videos and all of that stuff and things which we're discussing there. You don't want to miss that. Now, next slide, we kind of a teaser. This is actually the link is not yet working, but we will have a SharePoint and Viva Connection Global Hackathon within early March, March 3rd to 14th. And main idea here is to focus on UX and the beautiful designs, including how do we actually, what we can do with SPFx within the beautiful portal designs, either in Viva Connection or in SPFx. So there's going to be categories for out-of-the-box features, Viva Connection features with SPFx, and the coolest SharePoint agent stuff. We get more details on this one out pretty soon, but that's coming in early March. Now, on the following slide, I wasn't planning to actually have that, but hey, that's pretty cool. We did have the all-time highest daily usage actually this week on Monday. So the usage is growing significantly after the typical holiday break. We have tens and tens of millions of monthly active users for custom SPFx components, and it's cool to see the growth. It's just fascinating to see that the growth keeps on skyrocketing. Now, if you go to the following slide, no updates really in here. Right now, 120 is the latest version, and there is no ETA for 121. It actually even might be that we'll wait until the summertime for 121, depending on a bit on what are we actually finding and what are the things which we need to address. Of course, any issues will be addressed as fast as possible. Now, the focus areas, we are working actually on an updated GitHub issue support, so getting a bit more focus over there. So that's progressing. We will have card web parts for SharePoint that is coming to preview pretty soon. SPFx Copilot integration scenarios, async Copilot, that's the Viva Connection cards and Copilot, that's coming out pretty soon as well. And then we are actually making a pretty big investment, something which we cannot really go to too much detail at this point, but thinking SharePoint sites as a pages, which you can package and deploy and reuse across the Microsoft 365 with agents and all of that stuff. But more details on that one a bit later, so we cannot really go detailed on that. It requires that we get stuff updated, but there's a lot of investments right now ongoing over there. And no real updates in here. I just moved some stuff on recently shipped to the InWorks and Future, but there's a lot of stuff which is getting right now actively worked on by tens and tens of people in Microsoft, which is really, really cool. More details, all of that as we get moving within the semester. But that's it from my side. Quick run through on all of the things, what's happening from Microsoft side on the house.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. Well, let's take a look at some of our open source projects. Let's see, is Adam around here to talk about our blog?
Yeah, I am around. Hey, everybody. So, again, we didn't have any new blog posts since the last 2 weeks, but hey, it doesn't mean that you cannot add your own. And in order to do that, scan that QR code over there to go over to our blog post which explains in details how to go about it and share your knowledge and voice with the community. Sharing is caring, and then when you do that, you can obtain a blog author badge. I guess that's it. Happy coding, sharing, blogging, whatever, and back to you, Chris.
All right. Yeah, so if you're not aware, we have a series of Copilot prompts. We've got a prompt library. So if you've got a cool one to share there, we would love to have it. In fact, we've got a very cool one here from a guy named Gavin. So Gavin Warner here, what an interesting last name, Gavin, has got an awesome prompt here, right? So this is all about asking GitHub Copilot to generate a Power FX formula. Right, so to create a new record in a Power Apps data source with fields for like name, position, hire date, all based on user inputs. And then that formula is going to validate the inputs, displays an error notification if the validation fails, and even shows a success message upon successful record creation triggered by a button click, which is awesome. So if you've got something cool like this, like Gavin's put together that can help other people, you would be amazed how difficult that could be for some other people. So if you can share that with us in the PNP prompt library, that'd be awesome. And you too might get featured here. That would be awesome. All right. And Julie, you got some updates for us?
Not a ton, but some. So we did version 4.9 release on January 15th, where we added a new drive endpoint to list. So that's when you're going to get a list. If that list is a library, you can do /drive and you can get the information about the drive from the perspective of the Microsoft Graph. And then you can use that data to then make a separate call to go get the drive object to do tasks on that, like get the children or add files, et cetera, et cetera. Version 3 support has ended. We've announced that a bunch of times, but just letting you know, so do upgrade to version 4. And those version 4 nightly builds are at v4 nightly, so you can, any pull requests that are merged in before an official release date, you can check those out in the nightly build the next day after they're merged, and they will be there for you to validate and can give some feedback before they end up in the final released version if you see any issues. And that is all I have for today. Back to you, Mr. Kret.
Oh, yeah. All right, Gary, what we got here on this Clyde? Is that how you pronounce it?
Thanks, Chris. Yes, we've got a new beta release of CLI for Microsoft 365. So this is version 10.3. A few more updates for Entra ID. So we've increased the number of commands for managing role assignments now. So you can do all create, updates, listing of those assignments. You can manage them through the CLI. An update for Outlook as well. So if you need to manage user mailbox settings, you can now use the CLI for that. We've also, again, improved the SharePoint Online commands as well. You're able to just update the default column values. We've now added commands that allow you to do everything for that. So you can clear them, list them, remove them as well. So you can manage all of those. And we've added new commands for tenant level settings. So one, managing pronouns in your tenant, and also managing the tenant level reports as well. So if you want to try out the latest beta, you can use the @next tag on NPM or on Docker as well, if you just want to install it and try it through a Docker container. Yes, we also have usual bug fixes and improvements as well. You can get all those details if you check out our release notes on the website. Go to aka.ms/CLI-N365/notes. We are on Blue Sky now, so if you have made the move to Blue Sky and you still want CLI updates, you can get those updates at CLI at Microsoft365.bsky.social. Yes, next slide, Chris. Okay, latest beta for Dev Proxy. This was released actually for the last call. So the current version is beta 2. We've added support in there for additional features for generating OpenAPI specs. So you can now use OpenAPI v2. You can generate specs in YAML as well as JSON, and a few other minor updates around the intercepted requests. We now show timestamps on them so you can track them more easily. We are planning to release the stable version 0.24 at the end of this month, and we'll also have a Dev Proxy Toolkit release as well if you're using our Visual Studio extension. And if you have 30 seconds, we would love it if you could answer our one question survey, aka.ms/devproxy/survey. Chris, back to you.
Wow. All right, well, let's talk about these reusable SPFx controls. Right, so the React controls has been updated in November. Wow. Right, same with the property controls. Be sure to check those out. Again, if you are doing SPFx, use these, please. It's just kind of a default for a lot of these. Right, if you're using the React controls, right, if you're using React, then that's a fantastic way to get a bunch of controls already ready to go, and you don't have to worry about those. You can worry about the actual things you're being asked to do, right? The specific business logic. And then, of course, the property controls, property configuration is really important, and there are lots and lots of options for you, like list pickers and people pickers and all sorts of stuff. There's no need to reinvent the wheel and all that. So please be sure to check that out. And Adam, we are not done with you. Back to you, buddy.
Okay, so hi again, everybody. So SharePoint Framework Toolkit is an VS Code extension that will boost your learning, productivity, and creating solutions using SharePoint Framework. And we just had a new pre-release 4.3.4, and this pre-release we added more management capabilities. So now directly from VS Code, you can install and uninstall an SPFx solution from any app catalog to a site. So if you're installing from a global app catalog, then you need to also select the site collection on which you want to install your SPFx solution. So now the whole process is streamlined. You can build, deploy, enable, and then install it to site collection all from VS Code. And then you can use our even AI GitHub Copilot to query it and see it on the site, all from VS Code. And this was done by Sauerbach Triplati, another contribution from him. We also updated the scaffolding form, and now the additional dependencies are shown based on conditions. So some are only present for web parts, some are only are present for extensions, and also if you are creating an extension, which is an application customizer, we added a new additional step which allow you to install the React dependencies. And this was done by Erwin Gale, and this was actually his first contribution in our repository. So woo, you rock, man. And we had also some smaller updates done by me, bug fixes, added some buttons here and there, and some tweaks in the UI. If you want to contribute, please visit our repository. We have some still issues waiting for grass, and we'll for sure add more. And if you're doing any kind of SPFx development, this is the tool you should be using. Happy coding, everybody, and back to you, Chris.
Well, let's head over to Casper.
Thank you. We are planning a new release for either the next week or the week after that, depending on how much testing we have to do before we release it finally. But in the meantime, I would like to highlight some of the contributions that we have on our sister repository, which is the PnP Modern Search layouts repository, where we see, like in this case, where Corey has created a wonderful new people layout for her specific case, and shares that on that repository. And I have actually 2 more PRs for that repository in the queue. So keep up the good work, and sharing is caring, and that will serve as inspiration for other people. And perhaps they might even contribute themselves one day. So keep up the good work, and I hope I have a new release for you next time we see each other. Back to you, Chris.
Ooh, that looks nice.
Yeah.
Good job, Corey. All right, and let's see. I don't think we've got Hugo, do we?
We do not.
No, he's doing his job. Good job, Hugo. All right. So if you are not aware, we've got a ton of SPFx samples, both extensions and web parts. There aren't any right now, but that's okay because there's like approximately 1 million, I think, currently right there in there. So anywhere from, again, that getting started type stuff where you're just trying to do some basic things within a web part, show an image, something, all the way to some advanced scenarios, things like integrating with, that AI stuff, that Copilot stuff. So we've got everything in between, and Teams and everything else. So be sure to check those out if you haven't had a chance. And then we'll jump over here. Let's see. Derek, are you around for the ACEs?
Anoop's going to do this.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
That works.
So with respect to ACEs, as the slide says, we don't have any new samples, but there are some PRs pending. We'll get to those soon. But just quickly a word on ACEs. So Viva Connections in your organization, they can be personalized or extended as well. And one of the ways of doing that is through ACEs or adaptive card extensions. So these ACEs, they enable users to view the information quickly at a glance or interact with them as well. So as you can see on the examples on the slide, over there. And then this information can be surfaced from different systems like your annual leave system or expenses system, etc., or from any other external sources. So Microsoft provides some of the ACEs out of the box. We can create our own custom ACEs using SPFx, and the PnP SPFx ACEs repository is one place where you can find all the custom ACEs. So do take a look at that repository and contribute ACEs. Back to you, Chris.
Ooh, nice. All right, everybody, get ready for your glamour shots. All right.
That's right. It is time for picture time. So let's get those cameras turned on and see those fantastic faces saying "Wowee" all together now. Wowee! All right. Vesa is ready. He's doing the dance. I see Stephanie, Casper. A couple more minutes. We're a little behind schedule today, but we'll still get this set up for everyone. Loving to see all the smiling faces. You want to get that camera turned on just a little bit. I see Derek. I see Anoop looking great. All right, we'll give it just another second for those that want to get in there. The interwebs are a little slow today, so we're a little choppy, but it's great. We can still see the smiling pearly whites. Okay, let's count it down. 3, 2, 1. Let's wave, everybody. Looking great to see you all. Thank you again for what you're doing in the community. Looking great. I don't see Chris there. I'm disappointed. This is so sad. All right, looking great. Great to see everybody. All right, Chris, back to you.
All right. Wow. All right, let's do some demos. All right, and let's see. Let's jump right in. Mohammed, if you're ready, you can go ahead and take over the screen and go for it.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Let me share my screen. Let me know if you see my screen.
We see it. Looks good.
Okay, great. So today I'm going to talk about the SPFx React Calendar web part upgrade to 1.20.0. And before I start, a little bit about myself. I am Mohammed. I'm a Microsoft 365 and SharePoint developer. Also, I'm tech lead at Atea Global Services. I'm passionate about contributing to the community and crafting solutions for Microsoft 365. You can connect with me on social platforms listed in the slide, explore my GitHub samples, visit my blog site. And I'm honored to have recently received the Microsoft MVP recognition this month in the technical category of Microsoft 365 development. So the agenda for today is going to be about an intro, then talking about the React Calendar upgrade to SPFx 1.20, then React Calendar filter by event category, and some issues that I had to fix after upgrading to 1.20. I mean, some packages upgrade, and the upcoming updates that I'm planning to implement to the React Calendar for enhancing the web part. Then after that, the fun part demo and exploring the code, then links and references. Refresh Rangers. If you haven't heard about the Refresh Rangers initiative, then it was an initiative to update the most popular and most used SPFx apps to the current latest version of SharePoint Framework. And the amazing outcome ends up with updating many samples to SPFx 1.20.0. The initiative was in October, the same month of Hacktoberfest. If you would like to know more and the outcome, I will provide shortly a link for the initiative outcome in the community site. One of these samples that was upgraded to SharePoint Framework 1.20 is React Calendar sample. The React Calendar is a web part that allows you to manage events in SharePoint in a modern calendar view. It uses a list of existing events on SharePoint site events list, the location and name of the list, and the dates of the events to be displayed are defined in the properties of the web part. The important thing with this web part is it checks the user's permissions to view, add, edit, and delete events. This web part has been created by our awesome colleague. I hope I pronounced their name correctly. Joao Mendes, I hope. The web part has been passed through several updates and changes and upgrades. And in the React web part, I used the SharePoint Framework toolkit to upgrade the web part to SPFx 1.20.0. It is awesome toolkit that helped me achieve that without thinking about, hey, how can I write some comments or CLI command to upgrade to the latest version. However, the CLI also is great, but if you are if you like to do it without writing comments, then go with the SharePoint Framework Toolkit. I highly recommend trying it if you haven't yet tried in your daily SPFx development. And this is how the React calendar web part look like after adding a big change, which is filtering events in the calendar by category. So now you will be able to filter events depending on the selected category, or maybe show all events by selecting all categories. This drop-down list or combo box to filter the calendar events, it was developed by leveraging the Fluent UI React combo box. If you are interested in Fluent UI React combo box, then also look at the component, the category component in the React calendar, because it was a great implementation for combo box in the React calendar. Then after I did the upgrade to SharePoint Framework 1.20, I had some issues and the web part didn't work, not because of the upgrade, but because of some of the packages. And this package, it was XML to JS. And I found out that fast XML parser fixed the issue for me. So I went with using fast XML parser instead of XML to JS. The upcoming updates to the React calendar web part are two. First, enhancing the events load time, because it was a suggestion by many of our colleagues who are using this sample, and also configuring the categories by colors. So adding a color for each category instead of showing events randomly by random, showing events by random colors. So we will fix that by configure specific colors for the categories. Now is the fun part, demo and exploring the code. Let's see how it works practically. So one of the things that I did, and it is not in the sample, is I liked to have the web part wide, full wide by full page. And I will let you know how can you do that in the web part. It is just one property that you should add to the web part. How it works. So by default, the web part will show all your events. But what if you would like to get some specific events, filter? So by deselect, so I don't have any events, but what if I would like to see meeting events, for example? So I have two events, maybe business. Yeah, we have few events, anniversary. We have one more, Yeah, and get together, we have one more. Just before our meeting, I found out that there is a bug with loading events. When I click on the event to edit the event, I found a bug and I resolved this bug and I submit a BR to the sample. Hopefully, Hugo will process that very soon. So please keep an eye on the latest changes on the web part, because this PR has been submitted just today before our demo. So from here you can edit the events. For some events that are recurrent events, you can edit these recurrence series by click here and edit the recurrence if it's daily, weekly, or as per your preference. This is how it works. I believe you know that you can also get a weekly view for the events. Also, you can navigate by the weeks or maybe months. Also, you can get to the today view by click on today. Yeah, these are briefly the main functionality, but the filtering by category was the last change that we did before upgrading the samples, the sample to SharePoint Framework 1.20. Let's jump into the code. I will not deep dive with the code because the web part is huge. It has many components and many controls, but I wanted to highlight 3 things. One of them is if you would like to have the web part in full page, then you have to add this property with true. And if you do that, then you will be able to add the web part with full page, but you have to do that in the full width section. So you have to add the full width section, otherwise you will have the web part in the regular width. Then this is the change that I did before our demo to fix the issue of recurrence info, and this change in the BR in our sample. You can check the code there. Then one of the main things that you might be interested in is how the filter of events category works. And on this function, you will see how we did that by selecting the categories and unselecting categories depending on the user selection, and change the state with the current selected categories in order to filter the events. So these are the main highlights that I wanted to share with you today. And these are the links. Here is a sample link, and here is the commit for upgrading to 1.20. And this is the change that I did to filter the events categories. And here also is the link for the Refresh Ranger initiative. And And this is all what I have. Feel free to review the sample code in GitHub. I would love to hear from you about any potential updates or enhancements you identify. And if you have question, then just add it to the chat and I will answer you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mohammed. Really appreciate it. Awesome demo. And we're going to go ahead, though, and move into Nello for time. So, Nello, if you've got the ability to take over the screen, go for it. Wowee.
Wowee. So do you see my screen? Yes, my name is Nello D'Andrea. I work at the oldest insurance company in Switzerland, La Mobiliar, as a developer. So these are my contacts. My colleague and myself talk about Microsoft 365 and SPFx related topics under puntobello.ch. And today I will talk about the RSS web part and touch shortly the upgrade process. So I will also explain the different feed service configuration and also the templating, and then do a demo and show some part of the code. So the upgrade, we work on this upgrade with Reshmi and Thomas, and many thanks to Reshmi for documenting the upgrade process in her blog. With some little problem, but the power of the community is to succeed. Exactly, this one. So, what is the RSS reader web part? It fetches and displays RSS feeds. It's an old web feed format, but it's de facto standard. So, albeit it is not a World Wide Web Consortium standard. RSS means it's always in XML, and XML it's not so fun for us. So there are some new possibility with JSON format which are implemented in the web part. 3 types of feed types which are supported, and also templating. I will show that in the demo. So the first one, the direct request, when to use it. When course is not an issue, so when the access control all origin headers are set from a block, for example, from the PNP block, we can directly call the PNP block and it will work. When we want to have a full control of the data, and when we do not want third-party dependencies like some SaaS or own implementation. It's based for on website, and because it's direct, it's really fast. So it's if we need performance, it's the best way to go. Then there is a second type of feed retrieval service which is implemented in the web part. It's the feed2json.org. This was, I think, bought by a company which is called TopTal, but the code is open source. I've added here the link. So when you have a course issue on your RSS feed, you can use it. It's something you have to either install locally or as a hosted solution. You have a JSON instead of XML, and you have full control about punishing so multiple feed and enhancing the source with whatever data you want with this type of implementation. It's best for quite complex scenarios, and for us developers if you want to do some really advanced stuff. The third one is the RSS to JSON feed service implementation. When you can use it when you have a course issue on your RSS feed. It's also JSON. It gives back JSON. It's really quick to set up. So just have to register on this website, and then you can put your RSS feed URL, and you can go. You get an API key, and yeah, it's enough for little feeds. It has some delays over the feed, but it's for little implementations, it's quite good. And the web part implements templating. So we know that Kasper has said from the PNP model search, it's the same technology with Underbar helper. So you can style and customize your feed. And I will show also how we can do that on the demo. So let's go to the code and show Visual Studio. Yeah, so I will show now. This was one of the parts which we had to rewrite because the code used npm package which was last updated over 7 years ago, and it didn't work with the actual node version, so we had to rewrite this one. And you can see here that we have custom Underbar helper which are implemented, like getDate, which just does some formatting on the date, or also this one, get short text, which shorten the text and just put some tags, div tags in the string, gives back. And we have also mapped Lodash helper, so to enhance the functionality, for example, like this capitalize function, which I will also showcase after in the demo. Now let's switch to the code, to the demo, sorry. Yeah, great. So the first one is, as I said before, I have here the PNP block. So I've just put the address here. Basically, if the server understand LSS, and a lot of the server understand LSS because it's quite old technology and implemented everywhere. So you can just put index.xml at the end, and you will get the XML pack, which can be processed as a direct request here. And I can look at that, and I have the feed. I can click on every article, and I will go to this one. The second one is the feed to JSON implementation. I've taken here the RESHMI block, and here we need, because I've forget some things, but it's okay. Yeah, we need to implement CORS because this is on another server, so we will have to put this one. So there is just a service here which we can activate, and then it will work here with this setup, and I get the data back. The third one is the block of Louisa, and it's with this RSS to JSON service, which is a SaaS service. So you can go to rssjson.com. Don't worry about the API key. I can disable it, and it will automatically be disabled, and I have the free tier. So if you misused it, I don't have any problem with that. Yeah, it's just easy as that. So you put the URL in here, you put your API key in here, and you don't need any course setup. It works like that. So now if I go to the second page, I have the possibility to do some implement some Underbar template here. So I can have it here, and I go back to my VS Code. I've prepared a template with the help of GitHub Copilot or ChatGPT, and I've asked to put more style, which should be more like Louisa. And you can see here that we have the functionality, for example, like the get short text or the get date which I've shown just before here. So these are this pointer to the code. So if I say get short text, then it will execute this code here. And now if I take this one, I copy that and I go back to my demo and just replace all the stuff, and the magic will happen without a lot of stuff. And I have a beautiful styled RSS feed with quite a nice UI, and you can also just put some unicorn and rainbow, and it's quite great. I've asked Luisa if I can do the demo before and just like that, so it's okay. she had a look at this preview, and it was great. So I'm finished with that. It's a great web part, especially for comm people, and they use it a lot, RSS stuff. So back to you, Chris. Wowee.
Wowee, indeed. Great job, Nello. That's awesome. I love seeing an RSS web part in 2025, but the technology is alive. It's alive. All right, it's looking good. Great job. Really appreciate that walkthrough. And then let's head on over to Nishkalank. If you've got, if you're ready to go, you can go ahead and share that screen. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Am I audible to you right now?
You are, and I see your screen. Looks great.
Thanks, Chris. So today I'm going to talk about optimizing the upgrade of print list item command view extension to latest SPFx version, and the challenges which I faced while upgrading the sample. Brief introduction about myself. Yes, I am Nishkalank Bezawada. I live in Stockholm, Sweden. I work as a lead developer and a software architect at Bravero. I am also an active PNP community contributor, a father of 3 wonderful kids. You can connect with me on my socials. My usernames to GitHub, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky are mentioned on the slide. So today's agenda is the story. I'll be focusing on how it started, the plan. We'll talk about the analysis, the implementation, how I implemented the solution upgrade, the suggestions, a few tips and tricks which can be pretty handy while upgrading the solutions. Finally, the sample. I will be talking about the sample and go with a quick demo. So the story. October is known for Hacktoberfest, and in which PNP community has come up with an excellent initiative called Refresh Ranges, which is to upgrade SPFx samples, web parts, and extensions to the latest versions of SPFx. The initial aim of Refresh Ranges was to update 10 to 15 samples, and as a result, 43 samples were successfully upgraded. Thanks to all the contributors and maintainers who relentlessly worked to work and review all the PRs. I also had privilege to work or to upgrade 3 web parts and 4 extension samples. Of course, one was a failure extension, but then, yeah, keeping that aside, the plan, although not all solutions have to follow the same plan, some are very easy to upgrade, and some needs pretty good planning to implement the upgrade. But here are some very common action points which we need to consider to upgrade a solution. So for the first step, I spent some time to analyze the package.json file to check the dependencies. It is always a good practice to find the third-party dependencies used in the project and make a note of them, as you never know if we get some conflict with the compatibility issues, etc. Why it is a good practice to keep an eye on the third-party modules is because we don't have a track of its new releases or updates. The second step, CLI for M365 has a wonderful command which we can use to upgrade a specific project, which creates a project upgrade. Also, we can use a SharePoint Framework toolkit, which is a VS Code extension, which gives you the similar, I mean, it's a same project upgrade document. The third is to also plan on how we have to do manual upgrade of a project, which is a fallback option. In this manual upgrade, as Nello Andrea emphasized in his previous calls, is to compare the modules and the change version in the package.json and finally run npm install. So the implementation. So it was a deadlift to upgrade this particular sample from SPFx version 1.7.0 to SPFx version 1.20.0, which indeed failed due to React compatibility with one of the third-party dependency, for which I had to change my approach to do an incremental upgrade. Well, this is not optimal, but still I just followed this incremental upgrade a way to achieve the upgrade of the solution. So the first incremental upgrade was from SPFx version 1.7.0 to 1.11.0. Second was from 1.11 to 1.13.0. Third is 1.13 to 1.15.0. And fourth and final incremental upgrade was from 1.15.0 to 1.16.1. And this is where one of the packages actually started to complain about peer dependency. It is the React HTML parser, which had the dependency with React version 16. And it was a kind of a dead end for me because this package hasn't been upgraded since 8 years, that is 2017, and I couldn't find any alternative packages or alternative ones which can actually serve the purpose. So yes, even though this is not upgraded to its latest, and obviously it has not been considered as part of Refresh Ranger, but nothing is better than something. So why not? I wanted to give my failure story to everyone here. So, well, the suggestions, obviously, wonderful M365 CLI command. Just use the command to give you the project upgrade report. And second is obviously using VS Code extension, SharePoint Framework toolkit. Third suggestion is, or else like the second suggestion is to check for the peer dependencies with React versions. As I said in my previous slides, not all solution upgrades are similar. So a few few points which the developer has to keep in mind is to check for peer dependencies with React versions. Sometimes the upgrade may give errors which version with version mismatches in the installed packages, and by running npm ls space package name gives the list of installed packages along with its version numbers. Well, yes, the sample. This sample allows you to print a list item using templates. You have a possibility to create templates and print items based on the templates. The templates are stored in print settings list, which we have to create, and these templates are just like JSON. JSON, which will be stored for each template. So you can also send a printed item via email. So let me quickly show you how it looks and walk you through the sample itself. Yes, this is the button print, and then which gives me a which I where I actually can select the template here, and I also already had a already saved template where I have used my user details separated by contact details and the department details here. So this I can use it for um, all the items, wherein just go with the demo template and then say like first name is Bishop Arms, and yes. When it comes to creation of the template, you have a cool UI here where you can actually give the name of the template as, let's say, like PNP demo 2, and I can add a section, the section 1, or like maybe user details section. Oh. I just need to drag and drop. All right. I can also choose the color for this header of the section. Maybe I can just go with yellow here and say, yes, this is the color. I started to have, face few issues just before the demo. So, thankfully, yes, it has just added the first and last name under this section. And I will just save. Here I have these third template, which is PNP demo 2. Let me use that template here. So this is how it was. The user can also have a possibility to edit the template. Like, let's say, let me go to demo template, and maybe I can just remove activated from one of the section and then just save it and change the template to demo template, and the activated section, the column is being deleted here. To print, you also have an option to print this. Yes, this is working. Even the email, sadly, there's no UI to say that the email has sent, but maybe I can just show you here. A quick refresh, and then it is actually taking some time. So yeah, now it has come. So yes, this is about the upgrade of print list item command set extension. Over to you, Chris. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was a fantastic demo. Appreciate it. And let me share that screen so we can see our final slides here. All right. So again, thank you very much to our three presenters. Really great demos. If you'd like to look at those a little more in depth, again, those get posted to YouTube within 24 hours, and you can watch them again and follow along with all the links. In the meantime, if you are wanting to let us know what you think about this call or what you'd like to see in the future, if you've got suggestions, both good and bad, please go over here and fill this form out, and we will collect that. We take that all very seriously. In fact, David fills it out every week and says, great job to himself. You can do the same, all right? Or you can go over to Discord and join us over there. We've got 2,400 plus members, and you can get some live chatting going on. You can ask questions directly. You can see the blog posted right there. It's a great place to interact and see things and talk to each other and continue the conversation there. And lastly, thank you so much. Again, please check out the call once it gets posted and join us for our next call on February 6th. Wow.
Wowee!
Wowee!